Welcome back. We're going to have general reinforcement about the topics that we have seen so far. Now it's time to crack the books. Let's check. First of all, we need to check our presentation here. We are in our presentation of this week. Okay, we have our bank of words, but in this case, we have the bank of words in French. You gotta write it down. Don't forget, write this down on your notebook. Okay, you gotta write this down on your notebook because this is the bank of words in French. Tu dois récorter. Okay, let's record this. There are some concepts, some basic concepts that we need to have clear, yes or yes. Okay, the first is the base of electricity is the electron. The electricity is electrons in motion or electron flow. Okay, you gotta record this is electrons in motion. Electricity, electrons in motion. Repeat this. Reset as I said. Electricity, electrons in motion. Electricity, electrons. You gotta record this. Also, the current flow is electrons in motion. That's our main idea. That's we were talking about. The energy can be converted into four manners: electrical, heat, motion, and light. Okay, that's a pretty interesting. That is the kind or what's the type of energy states. Okay, the first is the electrical. Say electrical head, motion head. When you want to head something, when you want to hit something, do something with the head, you'll say, hey, I need to hit something. Okay, that's the head. And motion, as the electric motor that transform the electricity into motion, then it's the same concept here. The light and the energy can be converted in four manners. Okay, you gotta record this: electrical, heat, motion, light. That's all, nothing else. Okay, you should write this down. Okay, escríbelo, write this down: electrical, heat, motion, light. Four manners or four ways to convert the matter or the energy. The first is electrical. The second is heat, another motion, and another light. Okay, that's pretty interesting and is pretty important as well. The idea means that electricity has much higher voltage than battery and is very dangerous. You gotta record this. It's not the same the electricity in an outlet. Okay, you gotta record this. What is the outlet? Una toma outlet, where you gotta hook in the electrical power. Now, if you recognize this, a battery just have 9 volts, okay, and an outlet can have 120 volts. Oh my goodness, 100 versus 9 volts. Woo! It's a huge difference. Huh? Let me please hydrate myself. Okay, the next one. Obviously we gotta play this game because we gotta do something pretty interesting, that is recall the knowledge acquired a priori. Okay, now let's record this: electricity, electrons, electronics. Okay, you gotta match just words. Okay, because that's smoother. Okay, electricity, electrons, electronics. Electrical current, that's electrons in motion. Energy, what is the energy? Oh, what is the potential energy transformation? Say energy transformation. Head, motion, light, zone. Head, motion, light, head, motion, light, zone. 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 Now let's recall this. Those are the energy states. The first is head, light, and sound. Okay, those are the kind of states or the potential energy transformation, because you got to recall the first Dalton law that say the energy can't not be destroyed, neither created, neither created, can be just transformed. Okay, now let's recall, what is it? This is a switch, right? And a switch is responsible for controlling or to cut or let the flow. Okay, now that's why the switch is very important. The switch control the electricity. The switch control the electricity. Perfect. You gotta record this. Okay, conductor feature. What is a conductor? A conductor is something that allows the electricity flow. Okay, that's a conductor. What about the inductor? First is the conductor, that is allow electricity flow. But what about the inductor? What is the inductor? You gotta recall, is the opposite to conductor. Inductor doesn't allow the electricity flow. Okay, inductor allow electricity flow. Inductor doesn't allow. Conductor allow. Inductor doesn't allow. Conductor allow. Inductor doesn't allow. Conductor allow. Inductor doesn't allow. You gotta recall this and you gotta repeat after. If you wanna learn, you gotta record this. You gotta repeat all the time. Now let's continue. Best conductor. Record this. The best conductor is copper, graphite, gold, metal, and water. Best copper, graphite, gold, metal, and water. That's pretty interesting. Those are the best conductors. And what do you think? What is an insulator or an inductor? That is almost the same. Okay, it's hinder electricity flow. It stop. It doesn't allow. Okay, it hinder electricity. It hinders electricity flow. Okay, insulator hinders the electricity flow. Insulator feature. The insulator feature is low conductivity. Okay, what is the feature of insulator? Low conductivity. What is the conductor feature? High conductivity. High conductivity. That's low conductivity, high conductivity, low, high, low, high conductivity. Okay, insulator, low conductivity. Conductor, high conductivity. Insulator, low conductivity. Conductors, high or high conductivity. Okay, that's the main difference between this is a switch, but also you gotta recall something about a plastic. I got something of plastic here. This is plastic, right? The plastic is a conductor or is an insulator? What is it? What do you think? And the answer is an insulator, because it doesn't allow to flow the electricity. It hinders the electricity. Okay, now then the next one, you gotta record this. The outlets can kill people. Okay, because why? Because you gotta recall, what is the amount of voltage there? The amount is 120. The outlets 120. The battery 9 volts. It's a huge difference. Okay, and apologies. Now here, record this. Never in your life, never try this at home. Never, because you can be killed by this. Okay, you can be killed by this, and you don't want to be killed by this. Never insert nothing into the outlets. Nothing. It's nothing. You cannot insert nothing into the outlets, right? Because it can kill you. Because it has 120. How much? 120. How much? 120. 120 can kill people. Okay, be aware. Now we gotta recall our book. Okay, dangers of electricity. The electricity can kill people. Yes or yes, and then you gotta be pretty carefully about this. Now we gotta complete the gaps. But here is pretty interesting because this lecture is in our book. Then you can check the page number 112 and you can read and complete this. It's pretty easy. It's an easy peasy cake. Okay, you can say the amount of electricity in a circuit is 9 volts. Okay, now you can confirm this on your notebook. Also, we gotta record this. What is the voltage in Africa? Africa, 120. America, Europe, 240. 240. Don't forget this because it will be on your last assessment. Europe, 240. America, 120. Africa, 120. Then it's mean that Africa has the same voltage. Okay. Now that's why if you have here in America your for instance your cell phone and you want to charge it in Europe, you gotta get an adapter because you will need to low down to cut down the electricity because it's higher there. Okay, it's higher there, then that's why you need to cut it down by using an a kind of machine that is loaded down that is called an adapter. Okay, an electricity adapter. Electricity dangers, obviously you can never insert nothing because it's never of metal, nothing of nothing. Okay, never in your life. Here, identify electrical dangers. You cannot have wet things. You cannot be nearby wet things when you are gonna plug in something into the outlets. Okay, you're gonna be pretty careful. Let me press harder myself. Okay, let's record this. What is a conductor and what is an insulator? Recall this. Conductors allow energy to pass. Insulators slow energy transfer. Then it's mean that it doesn't allow, it hinders it. Okay? Now it's say conductors of electrical is a gold, silver, and water, right? You gotta record this. The water is a great conductor. Gold is a conductor. Silver is an amazing conductor. Okay, it's the same of this. But what about the insulators? What are the insulators? The insulators, the diamond is a kind of insulator. It doesn't allow the energy flow. Neither the glass. The glass doesn't allow it. What is it? I don't know what is it. It can be some kind of glass as well. And paper. What do you think? The paper allows or no? Yes, it doesn't allow. It doesn't. You gotta record this, okay? Now let's move it on. We gotta move it on right now. About what I have learned about electricity, okay? The electricity is one responsible for controlling the electricity. The one responsible for controlling the electricity is the switch. Record this. The one responsible for controlling the electricity is the switch. The battery, which generate electricity more than the batteries doesn't have enough energy like the outlets, right? The outlets will have 120 and the battery will have just 9 volts. Okay, never insert anything into outlets. Okay, metal is a great conductor. If the bulb in a circuit doesn't work, circuit could be damaged, right? It's pretty interesting because if the bulb is broken, it doesn't allow energy flow. Then it's mean that the circuit won't work. Fill the gaps. Here, that's a game that you gotta fill the gaps based on this, okay? Then that's why that's a memory game. You can say here, what is the word that could be filled this, or that could be filling this? Electricity is the switch. So the one responsible for controlling the electricity is the switch. 3, never insert anything into the OLED, and you gotta complete this by filling the gaps, okay? Here, what also we have learned about the voltage in America, the voltage in Europe, and the voltage in Africa, okay? Here we have this concept that is in America, we have a lapse of 110 up to 120 voltage. That's our range, okay? That's our range, 120, 110. The voltage in Europe is the double, just the double than 240, okay? The voltage in Africa is the same like in America. We have 120. Plastic is a good inductor, okay? It doesn't allow the electricity to flow. Electricity is regulated by a potentiometer. Okay, can you recall what is a potentiometer? Oh my goodness, you gotta recall this. The potentiometer is a variable resistance. The potentiometer is a variable resistance, okay? If you have a potentiometer, you can regulate, or you can regulate the voltage, and you can regulate the energy, because the resistance can control how much energy or electrons can flow throughout it, okay? Then you're gonna check it. The potentiometer is a kind of switch, okay? You can imagine, or you can learn this, you can perhaps understand how it does work by using this. Now, the potentiometer is a variable resistance, and by Ohm's law, the resistance can vary, or can change the voltage, can change the energy. Then that's why the potentiometer is pretty important, okay? Now that's our main energy summary, okay? We have learned about what are the energy states. It could be transformed into sound, light, and headset line and sound, right? And also we have learned that the energy in America is 120, and in Africa is 120 as well, okay? Also we have learned the voltage is 240, is the double than in America. The inductor doesn't allow, or the inductor hinders the electricity flow, and the conductors allow the conductivity, okay, allow the electricity flow. The main inductor feature is that it has low conductivity, and a conductor or an insulator has low conductivity, and a conductor has high conductivity. Then that's a pretty interesting point of view. If you wanna reinforce this, you gotta play this just like the same previous game, that you gotta fill the gaps by reading about your memory, but memorizing this. If you have some doubts, don't forget to ask me in class, okay? If you have some doubts, let me know in the comments below, okay? Just let me know. Now that's our last and general reinforcement about what we have learned so far. We're gonna be assessing on your last assessment. Then don't forget, hit the sack, hit the sack, hit the crack, and it's time to crack the books.